Today, I'm speaking to Charlie. He's got a business doing £40,000 a month in the workwear space. If you need a uniform, he's your man. The trouble is he's frustrated with it not growing fast enough, but I actually don't think he's doing the right thing to deliver impressive turnover results to the business. We've got some great ideas, so strap yourselves in. Let's do it. Hello campers, welcome back to the Business Broadcast, the podcast designed to grow your business. I'm James Sinclair and you are?
Wow, James Bird Official.
James
if you're
Bird
a 5
Official,
on Instagram.
I'm on Instagram.
You've come in with a strong energy to this episode today. I like it.
Well, it's the last one
big
of our
pod energy.
batch recording.
It is indeed.
And we're speaking to Charlie today. Talk to us about this baby.
So Charlie took over his dad's business in 2020 when his dad had to step aside because of health issues, and he'd been running it for a long, long time. But they've spun off a separate brand as well as what they were doing. So Workwear Innovation is a company that we are going to focus on today. They've been going, so the main business has been going over 10 years, but these guys have been sort of like working in it, I guess, under this new guise for about 4 or 5 years. Estimated monthly revenue, they're doing about 40 grand a month. They've got 8 team members. Biggest challenge, not growing fast enough.
I love that. What? Do you think that's everyone's biggest challenge? That people, well, no, not actually, because people are actually like steady Eddie. Like there are a few that go, no, I'm all right.
Want to go. Yeah.
When we bought Cafe Deli, I'll tell you this, we built a big food services business. We have then gone on to find out that there's been many chains of coffee shops and restaurants over the last couple of years that have asked them to say, that have now follow me or have followed me and then found out we bought Cafe Deli. And I've spoke to one person just yesterday and they said, do you know, we tried to get Cafe Deli to supply us. They went, yeah, we're not taking on any new customers. Chain of 6 coffee shops. And they said, no.
That is just words that would never fall out of your face, would they?
No.
Like you would cut hell or high water.
I mean, I've commissioned Elon Musk to build me a time machine to go back in time.
To get that revenue.
Yeah.
If anyone could do it, it could be Elon. So the biggest challenge is growing faster. Second biggest challenge, being able to afford to implement a team structure that allows me to go and work on the business. And the third biggest challenge is being able to find the time to run a great business and be a great dad and a partner.
Oh, that's a big thing.
That is a challenge, isn't it? That is.
Where does he want to be in a year?
In 1 year's time, he wants to be double the yearly revenue and profit in 1 year's time.
I'll ask this question. What does the business look like when it's finished?
Sold. I like it. Nothing more than sold, but he knows what he wants, this fella. Are they making the profit they want to make at the moment? No, they are. No, we don't. This year will be on our first year since taking over in 2020 that we're likely to hit 10% net. There it is again. It don't matter how much you turn, you're only keeping 10% net.
I actually think what's fair to say is that the more you turn, the lower the 10% gets.
Yeah. The lower the 10% gets.
So I would say up to 2 million if you're making 10%. Then after that, because you need more middle management, to manage the bloody thing.
Yeah.
And then if you've got a business doing over 10% net at scale, you've got something of incredible value.
With your businesses, do you look at them individually or do you look at the group?
The group so we don't make 10% net as a group.
What do you aim for?
10% net.
Oh, okay. So if it's not at that, what are you doing to get it to that?
Well, what I mean,
do you look at because I know you've mentioned like Rossi obviously needs more of your.
What happens with our businesses is we would absorb something that's loss making to sort it out.
Yeah.
And so now I'm thinking, well, no, actually, let's just buy good businesses and make them great.
Yeah.
So that we don't have that anymore. But when you start out, you take on things that need help, and because you haven't got the money to go and buy good stuff, and so
no one's selling you a good business for a cheap price, are they?
No. So you might have, your original business making £500,000 profit, and then you go and buy something that's losing £250,000, and it takes you 2-3 years to sort it out.
Yeah.
It always takes longer to sort it out than anyone wants to admit. And that's why buying good businesses for a fair price is the way forward.
It's your new thing for 2025, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the Warren Buffett philosophy. Yeah, buy a great business at a fair price.
Yeah. So when you're looking at we're at 8% net across the group, do you then look into the individual companies and go, right, well, why is that one at that point?
Oh, I always know the answers, and I think that's important. And it's just a matter of time. But then, I don't know. Let me just think. So if I open a new day nursery, for the first 18 months, it might suck up cash until it gets to profitability, or 12 months. Right. So out of all the nurseries, that will affect us. So you could say, well, just don't open any more nurseries and just grow the existing portfolio.
And you would potentially do that. You'd go, right, let's not open any more for
Well,
the
have you
time
met
being.
me? No, I've
Well,
never
I know
done
you
that, so I
wouldn't,
don't think. But I think a lot of people do that.
Because if you want to get it to like a profitability,
And that's why
take,
once you've got a big-ish business like us, you must look at like for like and group so that you can see the like for like is going in the right direction. Yeah. And if you can say, well, we've lost a bit of money here. And a lot of businesses have hockey sticks where they lose, and they know why it's happening, and then bosh, it goes.
Yeah. How long are you, because your business is sort of like vertically integrating, they're all in the same sort of sector. Is there like a timeline that you're willing to lose the money?
No, but I think what I've got better at and what we've got better at as a management team of our organisation, if something isn't right, we would stop it now.
Would you?
Quicker.
Right, okay. Why? Would you try and resuscitate stuff for too long before?
Yeah. And you give things enough money and time, you can turn them around, but that's at the detriment to something else.
Yeah. So this is interesting. So when you have like a psychological shift of vision, like we're going to go from, we'll pay fair price for good companies, not a good price for fair companies. How do you have to take other people in your team on that journey with you as well? Or can you sort of not dictate, because I know that's not how you run the organisation, but can you go, this is my new philosophy, and therefore that's why we're going to go after these deals?
Well, it's just happened like that though, by osmosis, if you like.
Right.
Cafe Deli was a fair price for a great company.
And is anyone else in your organisation, is anyone else going and sourcing the businesses to buy? Or is that your job? So you're literally going...
Well, I believe, I'm working on innovation, marketing, culture, recruitment. They're the four things and the innovation to me is buying great companies and working out how I can make us better from an innovation point of view. The marketing thing, I still get involved in marketing. I'm doing marketing all day in many ways with content today. Yeah. Culture is making sure that we have the right culture. We don't get stupid rules and mood hoovers and unnecessary systems, just the right systems, and then recruiting the best talent to come work for us. And I look at my diary and that's what I'm doing, those four tasks.
Interesting. So I'd ask. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. Right, so what did I want to make? The profit they want to make? Right, then we always ask our guests, how do you spend your day-to-day time in the business? And Charlie said, I have made a conscious effort to spend time making content and developing. Their content is very good, by the way. Go and check out their Instagram. It's very funny.
I didn't like their website, though.
You did?
No, I didn't.
Didn't? Oh, okay. That's very honest.
I think their website has let them down.
Okay. I've not actually looked at their website. I've only ever looked at their Instagram.
And I was looking at it on an iPhone, and I just thought it didn't look as good as that on the iPhone. And it's a bit clunky and slow, that, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It just doesn't make me want to buy.
No, yeah. It's almost like they've tried to take the personality of the Instagram thing and move it across. But actually, no, I see your point. But check out their content on Instagram. Is very, very funny. It's very good and does pull you into the brand for sure. I make a conscious effort to spend time making content and developing the business, but still find it difficult to step away enough to give it my full focus and energy. At the moment, I'm the chief salesperson and the chief marketeer of the business, but in my head, I just can't help but feel I'm not doing enough of it. As a week passes, we make good moves, but I never feel satisfied and never feel as though I have done enough. And then there's a bunch of questions that they would like to ask to you as well, which we will cover off. But before we do all of that good stuff, it's time for this. Interesting quote of fact. Interesting quote of fact. It's time for the interesting quote of fact of the week.
There we go.
What you got for me, baby? I haven't got a quote or a fact. I have got a rundown of stats.
I've got an interesting fact here from Off the Wall Upholstery. There's a McDonald's on every continent on the planet apart from Antarctica.
Oh, well, there you go.
There we go. I thought that was very good, that. I like that one.
Yeah, I do like that one.
I'm going to scoot back here.
Got any more?
A sec. On average, the most productive day of the work week is Tuesday.
Really?
There you go. That's from Erin D.B. Volume negates luck.
That is true.
Heard that from Alex Hormozy originally.
Yes, I was about to say that's a Hormozy quote, isn't it?
Do or do not do. There is no try.
There is no try.
Do or not do. There is no try.
That's very
It's Yoda.
I like it.
Yoda always comes up. We've had a few Yodas here on the.
He's wise, isn't he? Old Yoda?
Thanks for that, guys. Thank you for sending them in. If you've ever got any interesting facts or quotes of the week that you'd like to share with us, you can send them to me on Instagram at James Sinclair Entrepreneur. Or you can send them to James Burt on Instagram at James Burt Official.
I'm even getting rinsed by people now on my stories who are tagging me going, I can't believe I'm saying James Burt Official.
I've had a message here actually, and no, that is not the official UK Cub Scout wear for this year of the 2025 collection. He's chosen to look like a fisherman. Yeah,
and also just for anyone else who's also watching, even though you might be thinking it's happening, it's not. I'm afraid that E17 are not getting together again to do that Christmas classic, Stay Now.
Cold.
Could you sing Stay?
Stay Now.
Let me figure. It does look like it, doesn't it? I've got interesting quotes / facts. Here you go. I'm gonna tell you how fast it takes these companies to make $1 million.
Oh, I love this. I love this.
McDonald's takes them 18 minutes and 52 seconds to make $1 million. Starbucks, 14 minutes and 17 seconds.
Wow.
Netflix, 13 minutes and 11 seconds. Apple, 1 minute and 22 seconds.
I love this.
Amazon make $1 million every 49 seconds. Only to be surpassed by Walmart, who make $1 million every 46 seconds.
Wow, I think that's probably the best interesting fact or quote of the week I've had here.
Good, isn't it? There you go. So by the time we've played that jingle halfway through, they've made £500,000.
Wow. That's really good, that. That's the best one you've ever done.
That is good, isn't it?
How did you come up with that?
Oh, just...
Someone told you?
Yeah, someone told me. Someone on Instagram who also rinsed me.
Are you going to shout them out?
Oh, I'm going to shout. They are from Australia, actually. G'day, Australia. Thank you so much.
Australia.
Thank
John
you so
Buckley.
much. It is not actually Buckers, surprisingly. It's corporate gifting. Thanks to the guys at Corporate Gifting who provide fully customized, branded and sophisticated gifts you will use and love for a long time to continue. In Melbourne, Australia. I'm going to go see them in December. I'm going to Melbourne for Christmas.
Are you?
Yeah, damn right I am.
Are you actually doing that?
Laura from,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm going to go see Haley's brother. I'm Laura. I'm such a huge fan of business broadcast, and I share it with all of my entrepreneurial friends here in Australia. Thanks, Laura.
Thanks,
and
Laura.
I definitely think you guys should do a tour here too. I thought you'd like this video on how fast companies make $1 million. Watch out for an appearance by one of James Sinclair's favourites, Costco. So Costco's in the list. I just didn't have time. I had to do the top ones and the bottom ones.
Well, there you go. I mean, that was very good. So thank you very much. If you've got any interesting facts or quotes that you'd like briefed here on the show, and we will give you a little shout out as well if we think it's really that interesting, please do send it in. You don't have to send it to at James Burt Official on Instagram, but you can send it to James Burt Official on Instagram if you want to. But there are other options other than James Burt Official on Instagram. You can also email it in hello@jamessinclair.net. But probably better at James Burt Official.
You're a genuine idiot.
James Burt is very
Stay
good.
Now.
One of your greatest skills is accents. And I think you've become quite famous here on the pod for doing that. But today,
only to you.
No. Today we discovered how good you are at
Northern Irish.
You was in the toilet, Chuds, when he done this. But if you could just do Northern Irish.
Yeah, but when you say just do it, it's like when you say someone just say something to me, and I can't just do it on demand, so I can't. It's very difficult to get into Northern Irish. That's the problem with the Northern Irish, is it's actually a very difficult accent.
Because my grandma was from Northern Ireland.
Was she? Oh, Mary. I know Mary. Mary Sinclair. Lovely lady. Loved a teddy bear.
Maureen, her name was.
Maureen. Obviously, I've gone Southern Ireland now, so I've slipped down south.
I'm impressed with that, because a Northern Irish accent is hard to do.
I would say it's the most difficult accent of them all. So it is. So it is. It's a weird, aren't accents weird? Think like me and you live about 50 miles apart, and then Chud's was from like 200 miles further north. It's like a different dialect, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Mad, isn't it?
If you're a business owner, you know how chaotic handling money across multiple accounts and platforms can get. Now, with Revolut Business, you can get everything streamlined into just one account. It's designed to handle all your financial needs, whether you're just starting out or running a really big business. Every month, over 20,000 new businesses join Revolut Business, and it's easy to see why. They're here to help you build your business and spend smarter. With Revolut Business, you can manage multiple currencies, send and receive payments globally, track spending in real time, and automate your workflows, saving you and your team hours every single week. They've also recently launched the Revolut Terminal, the all-in-one versatile tool for accepting in-person payments. This point of sale device is optimized for speed and reliability, just what your business needs. Revolut Terminal fees and T's and C's apply. Revolut Business offers 4 accounts to match where you're at in business, from a basic plan to an enterprise level account. If you're ready to control your business's finance, sign up to Revolut Business via revolut.com/RB/James50. If you do this before the 5th of February, you'll be able to top up your account to receive a £50 welcome bonus. It's available for new Revolut Business customers only. T's and C's do apply. Find further information in the link in the video description. I want to say a big thank you to Revolut Business for sponsoring this episode. Now let's get back to it. Okay, let's get our guest on, baby.
Let's do it. Charlie, are you there, my friend?
Charlie Munger.
Oh, I'm here, guys. Thanks
Hello,
for having me.
Charlie. You are absolutely welcome. Thank you for being on the business broadcast, my man. Right, tell us a bit about the origin story. Obviously, we've just discussed it briefly, but just to make sure we've not missed out any gaps in the story. You took over from your dad, but you had set up something sort of slightly different. You were going down a different avenue with it. Tell us about how you got to be where you are today, my man.
Yeah, so primarily we were a B2B supplier of business supplies. So that would kind of incorporate anything from stationery, paper, office furniture, anything that a business needs sourcing to run. We were the guys to source it. It's a bit of a declining market. It's a difficult one. It's quite price orientated. We just kind of found it quite difficult to try and get any sort of growth in the early days when I took it over from my dad. And then lockdown hit. So nobody was in offices and nobody was kind of going into the workplace, which gave us a little bit of a problem really. So we battled through the early stages of lockdown. We kind of sold whatever we could get our hands on in order to try and keep the business afloat. We managed to survive by the skin of our teeth, and just with a fleeting conversation with a couple of friends, we kind of looked at the idea of maybe supplying some branded clothing and uniforms to a variety of businesses just kind of on the side. It was 2 friends that were working in hospitality at the time, who obviously were impacted quite considerably by the lockdown periods. But it did have some early success when it first kind of got off the ground, but we didn't really give it our full attention. We kind of bimbled our way through it. When the governments decided to open up hospitality again, those guys kind of went back to that, and we were kind of left with a brand which we thought we did have some legs, but wasn't really kind of going anywhere. So my business partner and I, Tom, took it under our wing and kind of been running with it ever since. We kind of attribute our start date to probably about May 2022, when at the time we were piggybacking off of some bigger national suppliers and kind of just managing the customer journey in terms of supply of branded uniforms and workwear. Before we took the plunge and bought our first embroidery machine back in July 2022. And since then, we've kind of accumulated customers. We've moved space. We've bought more machinery, and we've kind of set ourselves up to have some sort of legitimacy in terms of offering a good quality product at a kind of with a personable level of local service, but with kind of the punch of the national guys. And yeah, since then we've been growing nicely. We've been growing well. But we kind of find ourselves in a little bit of a sticky spot where, for me particularly, we don't feel like we're growing fast enough. I kind of have this expectation that we should be doing more than what we're doing now, and I guess a little bit of impatience to kind of grow slowly, if that makes sense.
What do you think you should be doing? What would success look like if you don't feel like you're hitting it now?
I guess get to a point where, well, it's difficult to say, isn't it? I mean, we always say it'd be nice to have a little bit of money in the bank, and it'd be nice to not worry about paydays, and it'd be nice to not worry about paying suppliers. But I listen to this podcast a lot, and obviously hear James talk about, having the similar sort of struggles at a month end with the size of his business. So I kind of get that that's always going to be an issue for us. I understand that. I just think it'd be nice if my business partner and I, Tom, could take some more money from the business. We could lead a little bit more of a comfortable life, and we could really start investing in a business that, punch with some of the big players in the country. I think that's kind of the aim. I've got this feeling that I don't really want to be the small local business that provides solutions to whatever the business might be that we're operating at the time. I feel like there's a real niggle inside me that kind of wants to really pack a punch nationally in whatever aspect we're working in at the moment. That is, that's branded uniform and branded workwear. So,
I've got some. I mean, look, yes, there'll be plenty for sale around the country. James here, by the way. Good to see you, mate.
Thanks, James.
There's plenty for sale, but and yes, buying some acquisitions and bringing some of that in, you should be doing. But how many tenders have you done this year?
We haven't done any tenders.
Well, maybe you need to have at least 5 tenders a week going out to local authorities, and you go to companies that will give you all the information for tenders. If you're not doing, I mean, there's big companies who are doing tenders all the time.
Yeah.
So that would be a great route to market for you. How many exhibitions are you doing? Like all of those shows at the NEC, all of those shows at the Excel, where, the hospitality shows. Are you at any of those?
No, we're not. I mean, I've participated in some locally, but again, from a cost perspective, we're probably not at a stage where we can kind of go and spend some big money.
So the next stage is you get yourself 1,000 business cards, and you walk round those shows, and you speak at those shows, and you go to all the networking events of those shows without having a stand.
Okay.
And you go up to each stand and you give those cards away. The next thing you do is you identify companies, 500 companies that need your products and services around the country. And then you make logoed stuff for them for free, make some uniform stuff for them, and you put it in a package and you send it to them. And if you can hand deliver it with a balloon in the box, that will definitely give you good results. I'm sure if you send out 500 lumpy bits of mail, you will get, I'm sure, 20% of that back if you do it well.
Yeah. Okay.
How many phone calls do you make to big companies? How many times do you go in the car and knock on the doors?
We're doing that 2 or 3 times a week. I mean, we've made a bit of a
2 or 3 companies, or 2 or 3 days? 2 or
3 days a week.
And who's doing it?
I am.
And you must be getting, if you're doing 2 or 3 full days of knocking on companies' doors, you must be getting great results.
Yeah, we're definitely getting results. I mean, we're quite lucky in a sense that we have quite a big customer database anyway from our previous trading history, and that's kind of how we got our first customers. So we were able to go in and speak to them about other things that we could offer, and one of them being the workwear. So those conversations we do have regularly. And to be honest, we've had some really good success lately, and we're having some great conversations with some great companies that could really make a difference. But some of these they take time to nurture, and they take time to develop, and at the beginning they're just a conversation, a relationship, and it's only when those conversations start becoming orders do you really start to see a difference in terms of your business.
So how many companies would you see on a full day?
Anywhere up to 5.
And so someone's booking those meetings in for you, or you just
it would be purely me. It would be me deciding who goes where. I don't have anyone that's booking meetings, so to speak. We're kind of just leveraging on some the database and the customer database that we have at the moment.
So I think if you work out who your avatar customer is, 1,000 employees, needing uniform,
yeah,
you write that into a database, and then you have someone finding tenders for you.
Okay.
You just put workwear and uniform tenders into Google, and you'll pick that stuff up very easily. I mean, tenders, I probably do as a company 25 tenders a year, and you know that they say the value of this tender is £1.5 million. And even if you don't get them, you will learn loads of stuff by going through the process.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you talk about that a lot, to be fair. That's probably something we should have identified a lot sooner.
Yeah, I would agree.
What was the you would talk about? You went to a trade. Stop looking at my jacket. You went to a trade.
At your face.
A trade thing called BALPA.
Yeah, British Association of Leisure Parks, Piers and Attractions. Yeah, you
like those sorts of
all
bodies.
Of those bodies you need to be, members of. I was speaking to a business that we was looking to acquire. 6 million turnover. They spend 150 grand a year on trade shows. That is all they do to get customers. And do you know the people that go to trade shows are usually big wigs. Like the
decision makers.
They got John Lewis from a trade show.
Yeah,
they got the biggest. I mean, I'm not going to say all the other names, but some big hitters, because they when they're going around those places, these buying people. They're in a mind.
They're in the mood to buy, aren't they?
They're in the mood to buy,
yeah.
And they're in the mood to. I'm okay to be annoyed for 2 days.
Yes,
of you trying to sell to me.
Yeah.
Rather than another email, another call in a busy meeting environment. Oh, leave me the bloody hell alone.
Yeah.
And I think trade shows can be very powerful.
You do quite a few, don't you?
Yeah, and we want to do more. And I think trade shows are very powerful when you've got longevity of customer, which is this workwear space. So if you could get a big department store chain, they've got 50 department stores, and you get their workwear business from doing that trade show, you'll have them as long as you're not doing anything stupid for 10, 20, 30 years. Lifetime value is very good for your business, but people screw you down on price because you're in a commoditized industry, and that you are, aren't you?
Yeah, I think so. I think average order value for us, I'd say is probably pretty good, and I think it's definitely got that longevity because of the kind of repeat performance of people coming back again and again and again and again, and we see that already. In the space we've been tracking it for 2 years now, so we do see that and we do understand that, and I think that's why this area does have a lot of scope for us, and it does have legs and it does have longevity. It's just about trying to find more and more and more kind of now, really.
Well, hopefully I've given you some great ideas to go and do that. I mean, one of the things I think, your website is designed from a social point of view, but you're wanting to appeal to corporate customers. Yeah. One of the things that, I always tell people this, design must not take over marketing in a commoditized space. Okay. You are not Yeezy trainers. You are looking for people that employ 1,000 people plus. Tell me if I'm wrong.
You are not wrong.
And so you need to have that look and feel to finance directors, purchasing managers. And I think you need to make sure, I'm just saying this, that it screams professional, value for money, dependable, and speed and urgency. Now, all the social stuff is good for getting attention to you, but when they get on your website, I don't know, in my opinion, it needs to be SEO friendly first, so that you're getting all that juicy natural stuff. And I feel like you've put brand ahead of call to action. Okay. I don't know. I mean,
yeah, it kind of all stems from the fact that I kind of appreciate that we're not inventing something new here. The decoration of garments has been around an awful long time. People have been doing it for a long, long time. And kind of what we were trying to be or introduce is something that is kind of fresh and a little bit more exciting and can attract a little bit more attention than kind of your bog standard.
Who's your customer though?
A vast array of different people, to be honest.
Well, give me an example.
Builders, scaffolding companies, people providing merchandise solutions, and
but I'm someone that spends a lot on uniform,
Yeah.
And when I want to buy stuff, I want it to look more like your website. Frankly, I want to go on Capo, or I want to go on whoever I buy from, Mr. Norton, what's his, all them Ponzi websites that you might go on, ASOS and stuff like that. I want it to look like Boohoo and ASOS. But if I'm buying from a business point of view, I want to buy with a nifty quid. I want to buy it with value for money in mind. And I want that to be screamed to me when I land on a website. I want pricing to be really clear, because I think when you go for tenders and the big stuff, I think that's important. But don't lose all the content marketing, because if that's working for you, and I think it probably wants to look a little bit more like an e-commerce website. I mean, probably go and get 4 or 5 opinions, but who's the biggest in the country? Who is the one that I don't want you to say it on the podcast, but who is the biggest in the country that does what you do? And then look at their website and look at yours and ascertain the difference.
Okay.
I've typed in workwear for uniform.
Yeah.
And the first one that's come up, I'm just going to go on the second one. Both of these, I mean, all the black rather than the white. I mean, all of that's been proven in e-com that as soon as you put black, you premiumize things, and subconsciously people think, oh, this might be expensive.
Okay.
And maybe you are, and maybe that's fine if you want to appeal to nightclubs and stuff.
No, we're not. Definitely not.
No, but if you want to appeal to scaffolders and builders, I think you have to be.
Might not be the sexiest website in the world, but in the for cheap business card printing, there's a reason why Vistaprint works so well, and it's a horrible looking website, but it converts, doesn't it?
And that's the point, JB.
Yeah.
That's the point.
Mm.
Why do people like Lidl and Aldi, and why do people like Harrods? Very different.
Yeah.
But there is
they both have a marketplace.
Absolutely they do, yeah.
But you don't want to get stuck in that sticky middle where you're trying to do an Aldi budget with a Harrods look.
That's exactly the point.
And when you talk about this sort of like having to go and do these company visits and all that kind of stuff, like Jimbo's just said to you there, mate, if you said, well, actually, do you know what? If I allocate the time, could I find one exhibition every 8 weeks that's worth us being at? And like I say, and do the trade shows. That's probably a better use of time than.
Can I just also say as well,
the payments locally.
With the website thing, you're saying, no, we want to be different, but being different isn't getting you the results that you want, is it?
Probably not fast enough. No, I still think kind of being different is kind of just a bit who we are. But I completely understand.
Can't you do that on
socials?
socials?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It's not something I've looked at and considered before. I mean,
well, I think what I want you to do, over the weekend or when you've got a couple of hours to yourself a night, I want you to not look at your website. I want you to go on 10 other people that's your competitor, that's the biggest in the country, that they're doing many millions of pounds, and you'll know who they are straight away in your head, won't you?
I know all the websites as well.
Yeah,
I know all the websites. I know what they look like.
And just look at yours and go, well, why are they doing many millions of pounds and we're not doing £1 million?
Yeah.
And just have a think about it.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
Right, there were some questions that you had for Jimbo. You said, what are your thoughts on acquiring a nearby business in the sector to accelerate growth, given the risks of inheriting only a leasehold property, equipment and a client list without guarantees of client retention?
Give me that again. I was concentrating on what Chuds was doing.
What are your thoughts on acquiring a nearby business in the sector to accelerate growth, given that there are risks of Given that there are risks in inheriting only a leasehold property, equipment, and a client list without guarantees of client retention?
Well, if you're going to buy it, then you can put in a delayed payment to make sure that all what they say is going to happen is going to happen. So say you was buying the business for £100,000, you say, we'll give you £20,000 up front. And if everything you say that's going to happen, you would get the other £80,000 and we will hold it in a solicitor's client account.
for 36 months or something like that.
Yeah, or something like that. So you know that and as long as everything you say that's going to happen is going to happen, that will get released to you. And, the solicitors do that all the time. Does that help?
Yeah, that does help. I think it's always been it's always been something I've thought of. I spend a bit of time. There's particularly a few in and around our area who are baby boomers. They've worked in this industry a long time. Some of the stuff they do is something we've kind of modelled ourselves on being a little bit better, which is why we've kind of attracted customers and we've attracted some share, but they still have share. And it's just something we've.
Can I just say something though?
Yeah.
As long as don't target things that are under $1 million of revenue. Make sure they go over $1 million of revenue, because that will get rid of a lot of the risk, in my opinion.
Okay, so don't think about this until we can be in a position where we can go and acquire something that is going to really.
Well, no, but you might be able to acquire something over $1 million of revenue with way less than you might think.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I hear you talk about that regularly. That's
I think it's easier to buy bigger businesses than smaller profitable jobs.
Really?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
If you're buying if there's a business that does what you do and it's 3 million turnover and it makes £500,000 worth of profit via, I don't know, one that's 150,000 with £25,000 worth of profit, no bank wants to lend you the money to buy the 150,000 thing, because all the safety net is in the 3,500,000 profit thing.
So that would make no difference if we're going that with our particular size and our particular turnover. Is it not kind of small fish trying to buy a big fish there? Is
Well, if you keep saying that, that's what it is, isn't it?
Okay.
Stop talking like that.
Okay.
And like I said, it might be a baby boomer who wants to leave.
Yeah.
We talk on the podcast all the time. The actual cost of shutting down a business. If you've got an online remote sort of digital company, probably the costs are not so high. But in your game, where you've got to have equipment, staff, premises, stock, it's probably going to cost a baby boomer a load of dough to shut that down. Would they not rather,
absolutely.
get even less money potentially, but to sell it on to someone who they know is going to carry on the legacy and carry on looking after their customers and clients? It's definitely worth having a look at.
Okay. Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Question number 2. You said you often say don't get distracted by new ventures until you've made a success of the one you're in. I feel like I hear that, Mrs. Loud and clear. But how do you walk past something and leave it when you are sure that the opportunity for this particular venture is right now?
That all depends on the scenario that's being presented.
Have you got a scenario, Charlie?
Yeah, I have. I obviously always think about kind of what you say in terms of vertical integration, and a kind of aside from us kind of producing and importing our own sort of range of workwear and clothing. I think about other things that we could brand, and obviously things like signage and stuff is kind of an area where, if we're already talking to customers who are already buying that sort of thing, it provides us an opportunity to kind of sell that alongside some of the other stuff we're doing as well. But I guess it's not really a worry. But how is that something? Should I be thinking? Yeah, absolutely. Let's go for it. Let's brand that as well, and let's try and sell as much as we can to the customer base that we've got. And the customer base
I think you might be a little bit
focusing on.
What I don't like people doing is. That is folding in, and that's smart.
Okay.
What I don't think is
Workwear and a sweet shop.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Okay, all right. So it's my interpretation a little bit wrong there. That's fine.
And the final question was it always about growing a beast for you? Has it always been that way, or has that desire developed as you reach different milestones in your life?
No, Charlotte, I think I've always been very ambitious, and and I've come to learn about business that the bigger things are easier than the smaller things, because you can afford great people to help you.
Okay.
And
you're having a real shift in mentality around that, aren't you? In terms of go after the bigger stuff, because it's actually easier.
Yeah.
But I think it's also important that you do the hard yards of trying to turn the more difficult thing. Like you can't because the knowledge that you get, you either win or you learn.
Yeah.
Why is it easier, James?
Pardon?
Why is it easier?
Well, if you buy a £10 million business, you can afford an FD and a CEO straight away, can't you?
Yeah, okay.
So you're not running the thing. And that is the, I mean, that is the, if you bought a £10 million workwear business, they would have lots of fat in there that they would have absorbed, that stuff you couldn't even believe because you're a small business. I can't believe you're paying for that. You don't need that. You don't need that. So you would go and make all those instant savings, but you would also have enough money to have an FD that would keep it, really good on your margins, on your gross profits, and producing management accounts and, comparing this and comparing that and producing dashboards to make you super efficient on your numbers. But actually, when you're only turning £500,000, you can't afford £100,000 a year FD.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I've always believed that employing an accountant in your armoury is one of the smartest things an entrepreneur can do. In-house, full-time, helping you, and you need a certain amount of volume to make that happen.
Yeah.
That's just definitely a quick example of which there are many.
Yeah, I think that is a big, that's one of the things that kind of it frustrates me, because obviously I understand what I believe I've got the right ideas to kind of grow it. I know what I need to be doing, but obviously when you're stuck at the size that you're stuck at, it's very, very difficult to kind of
Charlie, I don't tire of saying this on the podcast. Just put in to Google or into Business Brokers, workwear and uniform companies for sale.
Yeah.
I reckon 50 will come up.
Yeah, they do.
Just go and have a look at the biggest ones. Don't worry about the money. Go and have a look at them. You get to meet the owners. They might take a shine to you. Go, cool, this guy's working really hard. Then work out how to fund it. And if the deal's good and they will help you and they maybe do a bit of vendor finance and a bank will go, cool, these guys have done very well so far. They want to expand a bit. There is opportunities out there. Once you know numbers, and do you produce management accounts for your business?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, once you can explain all that to a bank and you can say, look, why this makes sense, someone will find, the money will find you if you're good. And that's why I always say B times do equals have. What do you got to become? What do you got to do to have all the things that you want to have?
Yeah.
Was there any other questions that you had, Charlie?
No, I don't think there is, to be honest with you. I think that sums that up pretty well, to be honest with you. I think, it is kind of frustrating. But some of the things that James has said there, I think, we should be doing more tenders. I should be putting myself out there at trade shows. I kind of just, I guess, thought that's kind of, we're too small for that sort of thing now. Maybe I should be thinking bigger than what I have been. And I think particularly
I think you're absolutely right.
I think particularly from when you're talking about other businesses, I'm talking about how do I increase the turnover by 200-300 grand a year, but maybe I should be thinking how do I instantly turn it from what it is now to 2-3? I don't know. Maybe I thought that wasn't possible. Maybe I thought I need to go through the hard yards. Maybe I thought we need to keep battling like we're battling in order to try and do it. But maybe that isn't the case, and maybe I should be thinking or looking elsewhere.
Brilliant.
Thinking bigger. It sounds like thinking bigger is the prescription that Dr. Sinclair is serving up.
There you go, baby.
Where can people go and check out your website and see all your socials and all that kind of good stuff, mate?
Workwearinnovation.com. We're also at Workwear Innovation on Instagram, at Workwear Innovation on TikTok as well, and LinkedIn.
Awesome stuff. Thank you for being on the show, Charlie. Appreciate you being
Thanks,
here.
guys.
Cheers,
Thanks,
mate. Take care. Good to have you on. Go and check out their Instagram. It's very, very funny. The content is very, very good. I'm a big fan. Right, it is time for the 8 traits of the greats. Right, this is the point of the show where award-winning entrepreneur James Sinclair, the leading light in the SME industry, gives us feedback and opinions.
Good. Starting with the end in mind.
Yes, I think you can have that one.
Really? Passionate about his cause?
You're not even writing this down. I'll do the admin for you.
Yeah.
Have you?
Starting with the end in mind, you're doing it. Passionate?
Yes.
Untold amounts of resilience.
Hard to know. I don't think we know. We didn't find out. I have to give him a 0.
Innovation. Innovate over evaporate. Sorry. Does he innovate so he doesn't evaporate?
He's not doing it enough, is he?
No.
He's sort of no.
Commercial awareness.
Yeah.
He said he's bringing his numbers.
Yeah, he's doing those bits, isn't he? Yeah.
He's number aware. Relationships with people, I think he does have that, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Marketing, he's good at content marketing, but I don't think he's very good at direct response marketing.
No, the website was a very good point. Like I say, it looks like a represent, doesn't it? Or like a cool e-com brand, not a
or a coffee brand.
Or a coffee brand. Yeah.
Not a B2B website. And
No.
that is a B2B business, isn't it?
100%. Yeah.
It'd be FDs and procurement managers that are penny pinching people. Sign that off. Stay teachable. Yes, I do believe that.
Yeah.
I think if we add that all together, 4.5, 5. What did you
1, 2,
get?
3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
That's what I got. 5.
5, baby.
He's going to
Feeling
stay
alive.
He's going to stay alive with a 5.
Chuds finds you funny as well.
I'm glad about that because I reckon Chuds is quite a hard audience to please. Like, I don't care. You're easy to make laugh, but when Chuds is like, especially if you don't
Chuds
feel
likes
it.
a laugh.
I know he likes a laugh, but you love a laugh. Whereas Chuds, you got to work a bit harder with
Trust you,
Chuds.
mate. You know, everyone trusts.
Chuds would be
scout
one of those
leaders.
girls like back in the day. You'd have had to try a bit harder to get with. Do you know what I mean? He's one of them ones, isn't he? Right, it's now time for a bit of this. It's about Chuds, like a lovely lady. Right.
It's Jim versus JP.
Your go.
reading
It's
again.
your go, baby. It's the business quiz.
Business knowledge and it's fun. Which one's clever and which one's dumb?
Izzy Wizzy, let's get quizzy.
How many people were employed by Disney worldwide within the fiscal year ending 2023?
Oh, this is good. Okay.
I'm not checking. I'm just getting my calculator.
Can you check, please? Official adjudicator Chuds. Yep.
The
Do
calculator.
it in front of us all. So Walt was a little bit like me. He had a little bit of money from a lot of people a lot of the time. He also does the fruit thing. So like he has the teddy bears and then they go to the theme park and the cruises. It's all lovely jubbly. E plus M equals S. If I put 90,000 into my calculator, hold my head like this.
Okay. what are you going with?
No, you tell me.
No,
you
no,
tell
no.
me.
Have you
'cause
wrote yours down?
Yep.
I'm going with 450,000 worldwide employees,
450,000.
which I think is too high. I think it's
He's already talking.
no. I think
himself
it's 270,000, but I'm going to go 450. I'll stick with my original.
Walk
guess.
me through that logic. You're a very bright man, but sometimes you do sound like a Dumbo.
No, because I counted all the theme parks. Then I thought about the hotels. Then I thought about the cruise ships. And then I thought, well, they make a lot of content as well.
Right.
What have you got?
So where did you get to? Like, it's 450,000. That's too high. I think it's 275.
Well, it is massive, isn't it? And there's Hong Kong one. There's a China one, isn't there? There's Japan have got. I mean, it's massive, isn't it?
Okay, so you're going
They
450.
haven't got the shops anymore, have they?
No.
Remember then they were a staple of our childhood.
Oh, I used to love a Disney
You
store.
used to jump on the, they had the big soft toy mountain.
Oh, it was great, wasn't it? They don't have them anymore.
Where's the Disney store now?
Oh,
they
maybe they've
might
got
have.
like flagships. Yeah.
But they haven't got one in Lakeside.
You know what they have got though? Partyman World of Adventures, isn't they?
Pardon me,
Come
I'm
on
to
now.
play.
Still worth going down to
What's your
Lakeside
number?
then.
What's your number?
I got 150. 150,000. So 150.
I'm going to change. Can I change mine to 270?
No, you cannot. 'Cause I see what he's done here. He's hedged. He's absolutely hedged his bet. Because if it goes his way, go, I told you. And if not, it goes, I should have said 275.
Oh, no!
Yes! I've battered him today. What?
The answer is 225,000.
Oh, yes, it's so
Yeah, I told you,
sweet. It's so sweet. It's so sweet, the victory. Thanks, Chud. Ironically, I've done better without knowing the answers.
Answer is 225,000. Approximately 74% of that workforce are in the United States. 77,000 are Disney cast members. The resort is 25,000 acres, which is about the same size as San Francisco and welcomes 50 million visitors annually. What are you again?
Oh, shut up.
Instagram?
We're going now. Right, see
James
you, everybody.
Official.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thanks, gang, for listening to this podcast. This is the show that exists to help people grow their business. If you love what we do, we'd love to get our message out to more people. So please rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast or wherever you watch your podcasts so that we, in turn, can help people grow their businesses. To continued success. See you soon.